Why?
Here we
Why?
are.
Why would you? Why would you open it like that?
100.
Okay.
Yes. It's his code word.
It's not a coder. It's just incoherent yelling. So
Always good day when it's carpets and coffee day. Yes, my two favorite things in the world. Um, I may be jumping in and out of here as we go because, of course, as I was telling the gentleman before, I leave for Australia tomorrow and I'm having issues with my ticket.
Son
So
of a bitch.
now's
Yeah.
your chance for those of you in California. If he can't make it out there, you can pose as Eric
You
Burke.
could be Eric Burke.
And get to Australia. Just saying, just throwing that out there for some people. You know,
Yeah. I don't know if I have like nervous anxiety or what, but like
I would.
just I was telling Dory, I said I had to step away. I was like, I need to just be alone for a minute or I'm gonna snap out and freak out.
Kill someone. Yep.
Have you considered getting to California priority overnight writing
Ship
your
me.
rep?
Oh, and can you ship me with the red snake?
Listen,
I'll drop it
you.
off.
I can get you into a FedEx box. Okay?
Probably guaranteed by
Oh.
10:30.
Listen, Lucas sent me scrubs in what had to have been the largest insulated box I have ever seen. I bet you I could get you in it. So
Probably.
yeah.
Yes, probably. We have Riley Jimison here with us, joining
yes,
us.
that who's the other guy is. Yeah.
There he is. What's up, Riley? How you been?
Good, man. Good. Living the dream.
Very
One
good,
nightmare
very
at a
good.
time. Yeah. So
Yeah.
This is
this is the 100th episode. So
100.
yes.
yes, we
100.
figured we would bring the guy who's the twisted brain that this twisted brainchild came from, back on. So why not? We just-
Behold the creator. The creator who is also at work and currently discussing something with somebody
talking
else.
with somebody, you're trying to sell something. Yeah.
He's like, you sons of a bitch.
But yes,
Why did
just
I
stop
agree?
freaking
wonderful,
talking.
this
Yeah.
wonderful experience spearheaded by the man himself, Riley Jimison. So only
It's good
fitting
now
that
he
he
can't
join us
comment
here
on anything.
today.
Just kind of keep rolling with it. So
All hail the creator!
There's the well he no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I'm good. No.
So
never.
Riley, when you look at the mess we've made with your beautiful creation, how shitty it's become, how do you feel?
Ouch.
yeah.
The top
Damn.
great.
It's not good. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The copy is really good. It's really good. But nah, the show's fun. People keep reaching out to me. They're like, "Oh, this is like the best show. When are you coming back on?" I'm like,
For number 100.
Here's the answer right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny, right? You do all this work to put together shows and research and all this shit, and it's like we like the shows where you just bullshit the most. It's just like, oh, okay.
No, yeah. It's like, okay, good. That work
Okay.
goes out the window.
I don't know if
Cool.
that's good or bad. I don't know if maybe we just don't, I don't know. Riley was talking to me earlier about his tell the people, Riley, and what we were talking about with you in the last show you did, and how you're putting carpet pythons on the map.
yeah, we're getting out there, people. We're not going to be the redheaded stepchildren for longer. Well, maybe some of us will.
I mean, I prefer to hang out
Are
there.
we dyeing
but yes.
it blonde?
We'll have one foot in the frame, one in the main, but yeah. So the Sacramento Reptile show was last month, and I always vend it with my shop, and I always bring a few displays of my own animals. And this time, I had spoken ahead of time with Ed and Emily from Snake Discovery because they have been coming out to the Sacramento shows lately. Been doing meet and greets and been promoted and flown out by the show promoter Jeremy, and they wanted to film a segment on carpet pythons. So Sunday of that show, that's exactly what we did, and that video went live yesterday. And yeah, for 4 whole minutes we talked about carpet pythons on Discovery, and I had my albino Darwin breeder in hand. Emily was gawking over it. We talked about them as pets. We talked about misconceptions. We talked about you know, what it would sort of take to take care of them and who might succeed in that realm. And meanwhile, Ed also got some good B-roll of some of the other animals, because I brought babies on display, but I brought an adult breeder female of Brettles, albino Darwin, jungle, coastal, and Popwin for people to see.
Nice.
Wow.
People got to see the gamut and that range of stuff. And so we did that. And then right before she was getting ready to take off, I gave her an albino Darwin female from that animal that I was holding. And it was kind of, I didn't think of it at the time in this way, but looking back on the comments on the video, so many people were remarking about how nice it was that I did that after their car got broken too. Because, you know, good old California, Sacramento, gave them the warm welcome. And
oh yeah, California experience.
I saw that and I was like, are you really like, come on.
So, like, I think it was 2 suitcases of like some merch and things that, you know, it wasn't great, but it could have been worse. But I guess, it ended up being a not so bad show after all for them. And yeah, I spoke with Emily a little bit ahead of time and then educated her on a bunch of carpet python stuff that she had questions about. And yeah, they're gonna get a little bit more attention, I think. So it was very fun, cool, and yeah, she showed them off in a good light.
That's fantastic.
When you handed her the albino, did you whisper the first taste is free and then run away? Because that's usually how I do it, is like, don't worry, the first hit is always free. So yeah.
my own way. She was like, oh, you don't have to do that. You don't need to do that. And I said, too late.
My hands are off it. Yeah. So yeah.
No,
Nice.
being good, and I've followed up with her since, and it's doing well. It's eating. It's adjusted to Minnesota life out there, and it's doing great.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
4 whole minutes of carpet python talk.
Hey,
How does
4
one
minutes
survive?
is an
4
eternity
minutes.
in
I mean,
this age of content shorts.
For the non-initiated, 4 minutes is a while, but you know,
That's like a 4-part TikTok.
Yeah, it's true, right?
You kids with your short attention spans, like
It's so cute.
So
Indeed.
we'll see what other things it snowballs into. But I'm trying to work with Emily and try and plan a trip to go out there soon, sometime next year, and make a visit out to her, see what's up over there. So.
nice.
Nice. Yeah, they're good people. They're a great face for the hobby, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes,
9 million subscribers on YouTube.
Jesus.
I mean, you got to imagine they're on the computer screen or TV screen of most, you know, children in the country or around the world that are interested in reptiles. So that's a really big influence. And every time they come to the Sacramento show, she's got a line out the door all day for kids and families to greet her. And last time, not this one, but the spring one, the promoter stayed open an extra 4 hours just for her audience because there were that many people.
Wow.
So,
I mean, my nephew lives and breathes by snake discovery stuff, because I have animals that they'll cover in snake discovery, and he'll come over and be like, oh yeah, like snake discovery. I'm like, no, like your uncle. Like, you know, I'm right here with
in Discovery. Come on.
Come on. Like, give me some credit.
I know Dark your collection right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna say you're gonna be in trouble if your nephew watches that and you don't have one. He's gonna be like, what?
Well, it's because they have the Madagascar giant hogs.
Yes.
And he's over and he's like, I've seen these in Snake Discovery. I'm like, whoa now, kid. Like, so yeah, there's a couple things that, you know, I have to reel him back in.
But you got red in his eyes then.
Working on it.
Pretty soon he's going to surpass you, Owen. That's how it goes.
my nephew, he's already planning on how to kill me, or how to,
he's going to take over.
He's trying to come in and influence. Apparently we have to get Western hogs. He wants lizards of some kind.
That's what Lisa said. All the kids want hog nose.
Right. And I keep explaining that, you know, I have the wrong hog nose. Mine are not. They don't wear hats. So, yeah, working on it.
What is it about hog nose that like
They're so
invites kids
cute.
Yeah,
Just
they have
the
the little
nose,
stupid nose.
just
It's the little
nose,
nose.
and they're just like a fat like worm. I don't
Any
know.
snake
Very
with a
wormy.
weird ass face, people are like, I love it. It's like, okay, but it,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
because the
my nephew
rhinos-
Why
loves-
doesn't it work for my weird ass face?
I don't know.
What's the snake with the? It's a vine snake, I think. With the eyes are.
Yeah, the weird,
Reverse.
the different kind of eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my nephew, he loves those.
I
It's,
fucking hate vine
because
snakes.
they're weird,
Yeah.
but they're like vine snakes. I imagine are like the this
it's
has
like
been
Kermit
fun.
the Frog with no arms or legs. It's just like it's just gonna be right. I don't know.
Meanwhile, you're like, look at my pythons. He's like, you don't have any vine snakes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
do like
Yeah.
hognose though. They are, yeah. I'm not immune to it. They're pretty cool.
Oh yeah, pro hognose. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
man, they're just beautiful too. The belly pattern, the killed scales.
Are we talking wild type hognose, or are you dipping into
Yeah.
like you want an
No,
Arctic
no.
conda?
I want a
Like-
normal boy. I
Okay.
told Dr. Loafman to make me some normal boys. And he was like, all my normal boys are het for who the fuck knows. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's corn snake talk. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I think we're there.
yeah.
Definitely are.
100%. Yeah.
They have some charisma and personality to them, and they come out trying to bite me. The females do. So
Nice.
They're- yeah. And
You
it's
ever let
kind
them chew?
of- once the first time I did. Yeah, it was right after my thumb had healed from the lace marker bite. And she got-
Perfect.
It's a perfect time. Now let's see what else happens.
Yeah. There's something for sure, but yeah. After that, I was like, never again, please, thanks, bye.
Did you ever take a serious hit from the Mad Hogs when you had them?
Not like a full hold and chew, but one night, I think I was just doing some spot cleaning, and it was after lights out, which I don't do anymore for obvious reasons, and I
Yeah.
might have been imbibing as well, and a female came out and bit me, and I like flinched, and then she came flying out, and then I tried to grab her and throw her back, and then she bit me on the other hand. So within a minute, I bit on both hands. Got some fun little tinglies from the really quick bites, and then that was it.
It's one of those. It happens, and you're like, and that is why we don't do venomous. Like, and that is why there are no vipers here.
Yes. 100%.
But
Shit,
Coffee.
yeah,
Yeah.
Eric, you
Oh, I
asked for
thought
the
he had
spotlight,
coffee
and then you
news.
just kind of stalled. So,
I did.
Coffee
I
Yeah.
did.
time.
You want
Do
to
you
talk
have
about
coffee
some
trivia?
Sure. Well, before I go into coffee, well, should I do
Or
coffee
news.
news first, or
Yeah.
should we talk about what we've been drinking in our cups?
Yeah.
Probably
what
do
have
the
you been
drinking,
drinking?
and then we can talk about the.
I am bouncing between the Vine and Walnut blend from Pete's Coffee, the Carpets and Coffee blend from Cold Blooded Caffeine, and those little pea berry coffees that I always talk about. I like that. I don't remember the brand. It's in a pink bag. They're really yummy. How about you,
Okay.
Riley?
Monster.
Straight, just a monster. Okay.
Just sugary, red, juicy, not coffee.
Hmm.
But at home, I do have the Carpets and Coffee blend whole bean.
Hmm.
Mm,
Gotta be whole bean. Come on, man.
yeah.
Well,
come on.
Yeah, and it will break the seal on pre-ground. Start using those bad boys ASAP because they lose their freshness way too fast.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Riley actually has like a stone mortar and pestle that he like grinds his coffee himself, so
Yeah.
that he can.
Well, you got to put lights out, start the fires. The cat starts chanting and banging on drums.
It's a production. I've seen it. It's,
Yeah.
It's a thing, but my neighbors don't ask questions, so
You know, coffee. I man, that was so Christopher Walken.
coffee.
Uh,
Just, your brain is 10
I'm
million
off, man.
miles away right
I'm
now.
off. I'm off.
You
I am.
can't focus because all it keeps flashing is Australia.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, a coffee. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, and I am a day away from the most delicious treat
You
of
son of a bitch.
coffee
You
in the
son of a
world.
bitch. You rut.
Yes.
I crave that nightly. Okay.
I know that's so good.
It's
so,
not even like coffee.
it's sugar,
drank.
chocolate milk,
Yes.
coffee flavored. Yeah.
It's the icebreakers, the coffee drink you can get in Australia, and you drink it and it tastes like it's a little bit of coffee, but it's mostly like someone melted down a Wendy's
Ooh, a frosty.
Frosty. Yeah, it's that.
Ah.
And you just drink it, and then they have like the normal ones, and then they have black bottles, which is like extra concentrated of sugar and caffeine. And it's the only thing that keeps you alive while you're going from like gas station to gas station. And they have small little ones, and then they have twofers, which is like 2 of them. And then you get every once in a while you get to a gas station that has the extra ones in a twofer, and you grab like 6. And then that's what you drink, and at the end of the night you just fall over. So Eric's going to get that when he gets over to Australia, and I'm going to be a little mad.
Yeah.
Currently, I found out there's a coffee roasting company around the corner from me. It's called Reading
Really?
Coffee Company. Yeah. And they do small single batch stuff, and they actually do stuff for cold brews and stuff like that, which I drink pretty much year round. So I went and picked up one of their big pouches of cold brew stuff, and I did that, and it's delicious. So I was giving that a try. I figured, support the local thing. So
Nice.
it says it's a midway blend, so it's like kind of, I guess, middle of the road. It's not really dark, not really light. It's kind of, but whatever.
Medium roast, perhaps?
I guess that's the word I would have used, but that's not what they did. So,
So using the fancy words.
Yeah, it was good. It's nice, and they actually have they just opened up their roasting thing is like a cafe. So now they've actually opened it up where you can come and sit and eat and stuff like that. So
Very good. All the things I would want to do at a cafe.
yeah, sit, eat, and drink. Yeah, those are the staples.
In coffee news, are you pregnant? If
No.
you're pregnant, then this is for you. Previous research has suggested that increased maternal caffeine intake may be associated with problems in the brain development of children.
So
I guess my mom really liked coffee.
Yeah, all right.
However,
good.
These results have been inconclusive. In a new study published in the Journal of Psychological Medicine, a global team of researchers assessed the relationship between parental coffee consumption and traits related to ADHD and autism in their children.
All right, hold on now. Let's pump several brakes here. Now, is it coffee or is it just straight up caffeine? Because there's some energy
Coffee consumption.
I
I just said that.
Yeah, but I don't like. Are you not seeing the forest through the trees? Like, kind of a deal.
I'm not part of the study.
I'm not talking about the scientists. Like,
Okay,
Anyway.
included in the investigation were 58,694 mother-child pairs. Now, initially, the team did see a positive association between maternal coffee consumption and autism and ADHD-like traits in children. However, once they adjusted for other lifestyle factors such as smoking, alcohol, education, income, the associations disappeared. And there was no association between paternal coffee consumption and autism or ADHD-like traits. So drink up. Your kid might be stupid, but it's not the coffee.
Well, I mean, first off, we all know that Eric got black coffee in his bottle when he was a small child because that's how it rolls. So,
This is it took me forever to find it, but I finally found it. That's the coffee.
Yes.
That's the one.
All right.
I'm so mad. Yeah. I'm so mad. I want it so badly.
I've actually been drinking it's called Drink Coffee Do Stuff, and it's the Bark at the Moon blend. I just like the Bark at the Moon. Yeah.
No.
And I've also been drinking, of course,
Whiskey.
Carpets and
Oh.
well, yeah, I drink that sometimes.
Well,
Sometimes with the coffee, sometimes without.
sometimes without. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
But
But that's what I've been up to. Okay.
All right. Enough of that.
yeah.
So, yeah, I leave for Australia tomorrow. It was supposed to be I think originally it was like we were going to spend half the time in Sydney and half the time in the Northern Territory. No, we're spending pretty much the whole entire time in the Northern Territory.
Excellent.
Sydney is just a jumping point from where we are. So interesting. I hope I can say this, but we're supposed to be going with Gavin and looking for an undescribed Kimberly Rock type of monitor. So that should be cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're hoping for OP 2.0.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if that happens, then there's definitely a different smoking jacket, Owen. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately.
You know what? Fine. I'll be the original classic. Screw you. I'll go by myself. I'll find my own. I don't need you.
Yeah.
I'm crying. It's
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I think my dogs are killing a deer upstairs or something.
They would. They would. Tiny little scrappy bastards. Yeah.
I think. Well, obviously, I want to find an olive python. That's for sure.
That's that caps the python species in the Northern Territory.
Well, the top end,
Oh,
top end pythons, because you got breadlie. That's
split everything. Yes, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Stimson's pythons too. I would assume are down near Alice Springs, right in that area, right?
I don't know. Is there an Interisha expert around here?
I think they're there. I think
Yeah.
they're over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to see a Darwin carpet though. I don't want to see one in the trees. I want to see one.
You want to see it like on the ground where I
Like
can
on a,
interact
you know,
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we were
So
looking
when
up
you
there.
find the undescribed monitor, is it the first person that like pokes it gets to name it? Are you going to bring Varanus Lucasi into the world?
What do you think, I'm hoser? Come on, man.
Let's
That
say,
doesn't work
are
like
you
that.
what? Are you? Is it like are you
A
guys on the
hoser
constant-
poser?
Are you
Yeah.
on the constant lookout for him? It's like we might find it. Okay, continue. Like he's behind a tree waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Ooh, coffee with milk and honey. Interesting.
Like a recipe for coffee.
Yeah.
It does sound like a nice recipe for coffee, but
So yeah, I don't know. So we're going to spend most of our time in the Northern Territory. So some of the spots that we were gonna try to see if we could meet up with Darren and Luke and see some silver pepper inlands and stuff like that. But
the white coastals. I don't want to see pictures.
and of course finding a diamond python, but I don't know unless there's one at the airport, which may be. I don't know. You never know. So
I mean, you guys found the Brisbane right next to in that park near the airport, right?
yeah, literally on our way to the airport.
I mean,
Yeah.
and the way that they describe diamonds, they're freaking everywhere. So come on.
That's what they say. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. But so anyway, that's
I'm very excited for you.
yeah.
Jealous. Sounds like an amazing trip.
Like I said, I wish you guys all the best of luck. If you find a Noan Pelly Python, I will. The love for all of you will diminish a little bit. So yeah, that's how it works.
We'll
Yeah.
see. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was to find the first time. So
I do. I was there.
yeah.
So
we'll
I
see.
mean, I imagine Riley and Lucas at one point, like that's a list thing to do is travel over there at some point, right?
You guys remember right before COVID shut everything down, I had my bag.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
I had
yeah.
hats. I had charging adapters. I had hiking gear, bro. I was ready to freaking go. I told my job, they're like, COVID's shutting down. You're still going? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going. They said they haven't closed it down. I don't care what. And then it was like,
There's no COVID in the bush, motherfucker.
Could you imagine but what if you had gotten over there and then they closed everything down?
We were screwed.
14 days, and then we would not have been able to get back for a couple.
Yeah, man.
Just keep going, Riley. Just keep looking. Keep finding things until they get you.
Yes.
Back to my wife. Take care of the snakes.
Yeah, I think it was like a day? Wasn't it like 2 days or something? And they,
Oh,
like
it
it was like
sucks.
we left on like March. I think we were supposed to leave like March 17th or something. And it like shut everything down on the 16th. We're like,
That is crazy, man.
And I never got my money back for that trip, by the way.
Yeah, I got Qantas screwed me out of like $500 off of my ticket, and then the refund on the Airbnb, somehow half of mine was just like taken by fees. Like, what the shit is this? And then they're like,
Yeah.
what about COVID? They're like, that's not in our policies. Sorry. And I'm like,
well, it's an unprecedented thing that happened. Like, I don't know, like it's in nobody's policies. Like, yeah,
No, exactly.
dicks.
can't win. So I've
Yeah.
been like, no, I'm spending my money on Australian snakes here in the States for 4 years.
Screw you, I'll buy my own.
Now we're
All
talking.
right.
Was
Yeah.
your economy, but now I'm going to stimulate mine.
Yeah.
I will be going next year.
Kimberly.
At least
no.
once.
Oh, yeah?
Family.
Mm.
Yeah, my dad
Oh, no.
decided that it's important for him. He wants to get over there, and so, of
Really?
course, naturally, yes, please, Father, take me too.
Why
You
is
know?
Why does he want to get there? What does he like about it?
Oh, it's just he's retired finally, getting to
Ah.
travel a little bit, and it's on the list, and so he can do whatever the hell he wants to do, and I will be in the bush.
Yeah.
Like, see you in a week.
Yeah.
This is bonding time, son. No, it's not.
Bye.
No. I mean, my stepmom's going to, like, it's not just him. It's okay.
okay.
I can leave him.
They're
right,
just gonna
fair
like
enough.
back up and sneak out and run off. Yeah. So,
Oh, they're well aware.
oh, good.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
think we're gonna do Sydney, Brisbane, and then maybe head up to Cape York.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cape
Nice.
York. Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Are you gonna fly? You're not gonna drive, right?
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's kind of a
It's a little bit of a haul. Yeah.
It's like a whole
it's a lot
continent.
bigger than you think. You know, like sometimes I think like California is like the size of like Philadelphia. Like, why aren't you guys? And you're like, that's like 5 hours away.
5
bro.
hours, dude.
What are
Oh.
you talking about? I'm like, "Ah,
Yeah, tip to tip. It's a big boy.
100%.
Just let that marinate for a minute. Yeah. So
Um,
it's
Yeah, but I would also like to go to the Kimberly with you. Why? Is there a rule? Can't go twice?
well, the Kimberly has been
2026.
Yeah.
Oh, then okay, even better.
Yeah, the Kimberly has been pushed to 2026.
All right.
Rob's daughter is graduating high school, among other things that, you know, are kind of, so we're pushing it off, which is great because that my house needs new windows and it would probably be good if I did that. So,
Yeah.
Money.
yeah. Well, yeah, you squirreled the money away for Australia and now it's like, well, all right, Australia isn't happening. I guess I should do something to upgrade the house. So,
Oh, I know, more cages.
well, I thought no, I can't. Not till there's no more room. But
There
This
really
summer-
is no more room.
You
This
can
summer
lie to
we
me,
put-
but you can't lie to yourself.
I can, and I will. This summer we put solar panels on the house,
Nice.
which, holy crap, a $400 electric bill is down to $116.
Dude, I need to do that. Bad.
Yeah. Like so.
Wait, say that again.
A
It went-
$400 electric bill is down to $116.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm at
Yeah.
400 too.
I
At
think
least
if-
last month because I had to run the AC because
I-
it was like 100
I'm
degrees.
in the same boat. So yeah,
You
I know
guys-
we're going into fall, so there's not a lot of electric stuff running, but holy shit, like that. I'm now where the normal people are. Like it's
Try adding a pool into that
I
for
don't
the
wanna.
summer. It was like
don't know.
$800 a month.
No. Yeah.
No, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to electrify the pool, Eric.
Is that what's wrong with is that why Carpet Fest hurt me? Okay.
Oh man.
Just toss in a toaster.
Yeah.
What was that,
Uh,
Riley?
Then just get a toaster. It's cheaper.
Yeah, that's a bath bomb is what they call those.
A bath-
Yeah. It's live, laugh, toaster bath. No. I'm sorry, what?
That's good.
My wife has that on a sticker. It's on my rodent freezer somehow.
Well,
So-
we now know how Owen's going to be murdered.
That's gonna be the official Carpets and Coffee T-shirt right there.
Exactly.
Laugh
Just-
toaster bath. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Let-
good.
If you guys aren't suspicious of my imminent death immediately, I don't know what I've been doing all these years. Like, just immediately be suspicious of her.
Yeah. Ah,
Other species.
What was that?
what's that?
Huh?
I said after we raid the roughies and a few other species, but don't mind.
There are rules in place that if I'm hit by a bus, there's only one person she contacts about who to sell and what to sell to, and that's that one.
I was like,
Because
who's
he
that guy?
doesn't want any of it.
Me.
So he's going to get rid of it. No, not Lucas. Not Lucas.
Yeah,
It's-
this is true.
You contact Eric because Eric doesn't want it all. He would happily
Hell
help sell it.
no. I don't want
See?
that. No, I don't
See?
want that
See?
work. Holy shit. I don't know how you
See?
do it.
It's
Oh
a
my
lot
gosh.
of cocaine.
Okay.
A
fair
lot
enough.
of cocaine.
Full
Oh, man.
throttle.
That reminds me of my old
Reminds you
boss.
where it's the cocaine? But
No. my
Back
old
in the
boss-
80s, I was touring.
Yeah. It was yeah, right. It was in the early 90s, but my old boss would he bought the store, right? And he would go down so the store would close at like 9:00. He'd go down into his office and he'd do like all this coke, and then he would come up and it would be like he just wanted to like rearrange the store. He was like, "Come on, let's go. We're moving this aisle and we're moving it over there." And we're like, but it's it's like bolted to the foot. No, come on,
physically
man, we can pick it up.
impossible.
Just like, holy
You
shit.
should have seen my fish market boss during crab season.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Woo! We got 3,000 pounds. Let's fucking go.
Oh man. I met actually we had I had this guy come in today and we hired him for this. He's like a legit, he came from where did he come from? Starts oh shit. I'm drawing a blank.
Mm.
South America starts with a B.
Brazil.
Not Brazil.
Paraguay.
No.
Costa Rica.
No, it's not a bee.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's say it was Ecuador. Anyway, he came from there. He legit had like, he was showing me these pictures of the fishery that he worked at. It was like, oh my God, so many fish. It was like, holy shit, man, you really can cut fish. Lucas knows what I'm talking about.
I love fish.
Yeah.
I would.
No, not Bolivia.
If you guys saw me cutting fish for like the false water cobra and stuff, I
That don't count.
don't think you'd want to speak to me ever again because
Argentina?
it's a bloody mess. It's just hacking. So yeah.
Or you think of
Oh,
Bolivia?
man.
Bolivia? No.
I it may have been, I don't know why I said B because it might be Ecuador now that I said it out loud.
That's not a. It's an E.
Ecuador?
That's
Yeah, I
a different letter.
Yeah.
They're on
I
different
told
parts
you,
of
I'm
the
not with
alphabet.
it today. I'm not
Yeah.
with it today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
Peru?
I can't believe.
Different letter.
Oh, and it's
Yep.
40 degrees here at night. That
Yes.
means it's time. Are your snakes like turned on, like ready
They're
to kill
trying.
anything
Oh my
that comes
God.
near you?
They're trying to kill me. They've been.
Yeah.
They've been trying to kill me several times. It's and everything. It doesn't matter what size it is. Like they're just coming for me, and
Yeah.
it's been annoying as shit right now. Especially because I'm moving some snakes into new cages because my Timors are moving into bigger cages.
Okay.
And then I got to get some adult male carpets into some bigger cages and stuff like that. But then there's just a bunch of other things like my false water cobra are coming with ill intent, and that's terrifying. So, and then I've expanded Rogue into a fun little offshoot that I have never ventured into before as far as reptile breeding. And I was explaining this to Lucas before we got on the air. So my mom and stepdad have had a male leopard tortoise for years.
So
and-
it begins.
and they're always like, well, if I find a female, I can just kind of throw it over there. And well, I found a adult female leopard tortoise. So I might have leopard tortoise babies. So what was that?
Leopard tortoise babies. I'll buy them from you.
There you go. See, now I already have a buyer. Done. Now I can do whatever. So now it's all jello. So,
I do really like tortoises. If I had a yard.
I saw the largest sulcata I've ever seen the other day, because where I picked up this leopard, they also had 2 sulcatas that they tried to get me to take, and that wasn't going to happen. But this one sulcata, it had to have been over 100 pounds. It was massive. It was. I can't even explain. Thing was a bulldozer, and I'm like, no. And apparently, it was only like, I think it was only like maybe 10 years old. Like it was huge for like, and I'm like, dear God. And of course, that just makes me go home and look at the dinosaur that I have been saddled with and be like, no, no.
Oh God, you put a saddle on it now?
I mean, Eric does ride him around the yard.
I did take a ride.
Yeah,
I did.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
It was fun.
So,
fun.
but yeah, I just like it's doing that kind of stuff where it's like, we're expanding different things into, just trying to appeal to different audiences, and we've talked about that before. So
yeah, yeah, big expansion year
for you,
everyone.
I mean,
well, not
Eric,
you,
not Eric, not Eric. No,
Owen got tortoises. I got blue tongue skinks.
Yeah, Riley.
I've been quiet over here.
What have you been up to? Tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, I got diamonds in June.
Boom.
Some imported pop wins from Dan Maliri a month or so ago.
Ooh,
nice.
I also got Rosie Boas when I got the diamonds.
They're cool.
I love a Rosie Boa.
Oh, they're really rad, man. Mine are not bitey, but they're savage about food. So in hand, they're great. And I'm now being plugged into like the locality scene of it, and I can already see the downward slippery slope. So that's going to be an excellent problem to have. I'm looking forward to. Small boas with stripes. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
So
go to Mexico, shove a few in your pants, walk back across the border.
Yeah,
pretty sure that's against several laws.
Hypothetically,
yeah, it'd be neat to get into some of the more, like, there's some really cool like El Rosario localities that have like beautiful reds, and the silver grays are like almost blue, and there's a few other ones that I'm getting into, but otherwise I've just been kind of silently just enjoying what I have and just waiting for the season, because I've got Womas to pair.
Nice.
Don't do it. They're the worst.
Do it.
Just kidding.
A pair of corn snakes. I might do a pair of hognose. And it's looking like potentially like 16 pairs of carpets this year. So
cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go pretty hard. Over the last 2 years, 2 seasons ago, I had, nearly 100 babies. And I thought I was like, probably overdone it in terms of like what I could sell. And it turned out to be not quite enough. And then last season, I had a little bit less. And I still wish I had produced more in terms of being able to like go to other shows or put more online. And despite, everybody being kind of close to the chest with spending and breeding, maybe not putting everything together in these, uncertain economic times. I wish I produced more, man. And so I'm going hard. Everybody else is going light. I'm going hard.
I mean, not everybody.
I'm not going light, brother.
I mean, the one who was going light got off the call for a minute, but I mean, like some of us have 40 something pairings.
Yeah,
going this year. So yeah.
Good. I love to hear that, man. Just because that stuff I know that you're doing is mostly underrepresented or fringe species,
right?
Or stuff that has extremely high demand that far outweighs the production. So it's gonna go places.
But you know what the funny part is? That's not all the if I wanted to, could like do way more, because it's like I'm maybe doing 1 pair of olive pythons if the olive pythons I already have sell, but I have 2 adult proven females. If I wanted to, I could do that, but I don't want to do that. So
yeah,
there's all that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's scrubs, Timors, waters, Dunai,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's been interesting because for anybody who doesn't know, I manage a reptile shop here in Sacramento, and so I literally day to day see what's happening in the sort of market trends with, at least in a local sphere with our audience. And I can tell you things have changed over the last few years as far as how much people are willing to spend on an individual animal, how often that happens, and what those animals they're looking for are. And the days of people looking to become the next big breeder and the top 5 most common species are kind of out the door, and now people are looking for unique stuff or fun pets. So all of that counts,
and that's a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's
is
its own market self-correction, like it's not because everybody's been shouting from the rooftop saying species X, Y, and Z are overproduced and too common. It's because people are feeling X, Y, and Z species are too common and they are turning left or turning right now. And it's just the natural ebb and flow of it. And it's kind of weird to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if in like 20 years from now, ball pythons are like the corn snakes where everybody's kind of poo-pooed them. There's never a ball python over $300, and they're kind of looked as the intro pet shop sort of kid snake, but like they have a nostalgic factor and millions of morphs, so everything's multi-het everything, and it's just kind of the fun, easy to breed, nostalgic, like old guy snake sort of thing, like corn snakes kind of are perceived by the younger generation right now. And we'll all be sitting here thinking, oh, remember when ball pythons had their heyday and everybody was mortgaging their houses, and it's just going to be a different thing. And I think everything's going towards, like, if you can market something as a good pet, you've got, that species will have a survival spot, a survival niche within the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, because I think we run into that every once in a while where you get an animal in your hands and you're like, at one point, I saw this for $20,000. It's like that kind of thing. And I feel like that would happen with ball pythons and other stuff too. It's going to take a minute to get there. So, but I see that happening, and I know that because like Riley, I know you've done corn snakes, or you see stuff in your shop where it's like looking at it, you're like, how the hell is this freaking here? Like this should be like on a spinning platform at a reptile show with "Don't breathe close to this" kind of a thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild what's changed just even the last 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I mean, everything's going to be available to the future generations. It's just these waves kind of ebb and flow with markets, but they also ebb and flow with generations. There's generational interest every like 5-10 years. It's just the next wave of kids, and then their parents go into nostalgia zone, and then their kids go into nostalgia zone, and the cycle repeats itself.
Right. I like how Lisa's like, I'm gonna try Tannenbar and we'll see how it goes. Like, she didn't like breed blackface white lip multiple times, and like that's not like one of the hardest things that somebody could do. Yeah, we're gonna try it. Yeah, I imagine she will have success for that, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's fun stuff. Are we adding anything to the collections this year? I say this, and then I keep adding stuff that wasn't even on the list that I had. Like, I did not have spotted pythons, children's pythons, leopard tortoises, Stillwater hypo bulls. What the hell else has gotten into this house this past like couple weeks? Anyway, so
pretty soon it's going to be exotic mammals and birds for you, Owen.
He already has exotic mammals.
I don't even need to say anything anymore. Lucas knows where I'm going, and yes, that is already happening.
Squirrel monkeys and sugar gliders.
I don't trust monkeys. I don't trust monkeys.
Yeah, I think you're going to fall in love with the first one that decides to scoop a water bowl out of a snake bin, and you realize
there's training capabilities. Yeah, all right. Good point. This is why other people.
This would be great for my bottom line until it rips off my gonads.
Thank you. Listen, I watched that chimp thingy. No, thank you. Also, having been a chew toy for a kinkajou several times in my life, I like to avoid all things with hands.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
My wife was getting chewed on by a 10 rack yesterday while helping trim its nails, and
wow,
really painful.
I
Really?
kind
It's
of imagine,
painful?
yeah, I can
Oh.
imagine that. Yeah.
I've only seen pictures. They look so cute.
Yeah, everything that looks cute is gonna hurt you. Like
Yeah.
she also got sprayed by a skunk today, so
Oh.
So she's living outside, is what you're telling us.
I'm certainly not at home inside. That's for sure.
There you go. Okay. Oh, the life of a zookeeper that I sometimes miss, and then other times kind of don't. So it's
Yeah, some things you miss, some things you don't, right?
I mean, speaking of insanity, Hamburg is this weekend,
Oh,
so I'll be vending there. And it's the October show, which is usually a pretty good one because people are kind of getting their stuff because I think the October one's later, and then there isn't a show in November, but the December one is early because nobody wants to be coming into a Hamburg show close to Christmas. And then there's not a show from December, January, and then the February one is usually later. So it's almost like people come and do their shopping now. And then the December one is they come and bulk up on supplies and food to hold out until the next one, which is the big one in February, because a lot of people have missed a bunch of stuff. They haven't been out to a show. It's February. There's not a lot to do. So walking into a show, I know that Riley kind of does more shows and stuff like that. Lucas is still getting
I did one.
He did his little feet wet. So I
One
mean,
time.
Riley, do you see anything kind of changing as far as shows go, as that kind of stuff?
yeah. The biggest thing that I've seen, even though I'm not always able to walk around a lot, is that the tables that have more variety garner more long-standing attention with customers that are there. They will gravitate towards a nice-looking display, but if you have more than one species, or just even if it's like a little bit of very visibly obvious variety, like a chunk of geckos and a chunk of snakes, you're usually going to garner a little extra attention. But there's so much out there that you've got to stand out to get people's attention. So your booth presence is paramount nowadays. The guys that are the jobbers that sit there and don't do anything, they might have the most unique, rare species of king snake or something out there on the table, and nobody's going to stop by, because there's just nothing to engage them visibly. And that's not necessarily anything new, but I think a lot of what I'm seeing are people planning purchases before and then picking them up at the show, less impulse buying, which, on the whole is actually probably a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing, a smaller concentration of the dominance of the ball python and leopard gecko tables. They're still prevalent. They're still there, and they're still important for bringing a lot of the newer audience in. But that isn't quite as palpable anymore. And I'm also seeing a lot more educational booths. So booths where they're not selling anything. They have a macaw, a sloth, a tortoise, a big snake, and a nice educational display. And that their business model isn't so much about making money at the show. It's about, an audience on YouTube or booking parties or events and things like that. And they're an educational based entity. And I see a lot more of that, especially up here, because I don't think Northern California has quite as much of.
Eric, you messed up Riley's audio. What did you do?
I don't know.
You came in and Riley got Eric jumped in and you cut off audio wise, Riley. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we could hear you fine, and now you
did.
don't exist.
Look what you did.
I'll go. I'll
rolling.
No, it's okay. Even when you disappeared, it didn't come back. Oh man, that was really good. I was learning a lot.
Yeah,
about
things.
He
was doing well.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about
Riley's
shows and he was doing stuff
of shows.
Yes.
Honestly, try the noise headphones.
Yeah, because we can try to.
I'd rather
lower his
hear
thing,
you blowing us out than not hear you at all.
But I can lower his. We can lower his mic stuff too. Yeah,
we can
fix it in post.
No, we can. You hit the little dots, next to somebody's name, and you go down to edit mic settings, and you can adjust the volume.
Oh, you mean I thought you meant after the fact.
No,
Okay.
now,
all right.
current. What the?
Oh, okay.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, right.
There's no post here. Come now.
I may be. Yeah,
What did you learn? Are you okay?
I learned nothing.
Oh,
I was talking to
No.
Rob a little bit, and now I have to.
Rob
he said
doesn't
he's
work
gonna-
for American Airlines.
No, I know,
No.
but he
That I
actually
know of.
booked my ticket.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I'm back.
Huh?
Okay.
Ah!
There he goes.
As soon as Eric came back in, it was like, and you're fired.
We don't need you.
Sorry.
It was like 3 is perfect, 4 is just far too many.
Too
We
far
can't
too many
possibly
people.
accommodate 4.
I will say that what on the vein of what Riley was saying, what that more tables with more variety are starting to stand out. It's less and less people are going to the show, and like it's one of those. If you can appeal to more people, you're going to have a better time and easier time selling. If you just have one type of snake, and the people who come through that door aren't interested in buying that type of snake, it might be a long day for you. And that's kind of how that goes. Having corn snakes, king snakes, bull snakes, pythons, boas,
Lizards.
whatever, tortoise, like that kind of stuff helps. But it's one of those where if you still carry yourself as a breeder, it kind of helps you stand away from, because that variety is on flipper tables. But you having the presence and being like, oh, yeah, no, everything on this table hatched in my house. That kind of gives you a little bit more of a stand up than other people who are like, oh, I bought like this, and this, and just threw it here. I bought them yesterday. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The other thing worth paying attention to, and it sounds kind of shitty to like have to do, and it seems unnecessary, is you should sort of have your finger on the pulse of like what's popular in the world of social media, because I hate to say it, what those influencers and reptile personalities are really pushing or working with and promoting a lot, those are going to get a lot of attention. So when, for example, when Emily from Snake Discovery comes to Sacramento, the hognose vendors and the milk snake vendors do pretty well. There's no mystery as to why.
Yeah.
And you know, when Adam Wickens a couple years ago did a video on those emerald green skinks that Eric, your dad, has, those ones that are so much fun that come running out, and like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't keep those in store.
Really?
Yeah, no, after that I sold out of everything, and then they're just gone. They're on a wholesale list and they're gone in hours if you don't jump on them, because they're so popular now. And
Really?
it's not because they weren't cool before, it's just because nobody took the time to promote them before, so nobody is going to go like, oh, what other fun lizards are out there that I don't know about?
Right.
They're just, it's what's fed to you. That's how we get it. Nobody has the time to go like dig around, and so what's trendy, unfortunately, is what's going to sell too. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But I think the market self-corrects that a lot. And nowadays, before COVID, we had the luxury of assuming that we were also going to be selling to other breeders or upcoming prospective breeders, or, other people who have the same sort of intent and want to spend and acquire in the same vein as we do. And now it's more people looking for a good pet. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the obscure species isn't on their radar, because you'd be surprised. There are some people that'll spend $1,000 on a multi-morph, multi-het, whatever, that like they never want to breed. And it's surprising, but that is the way things seem to be looking these days more often than not. But yeah, I mean, things are different. Shows are different. The audience is different. You got to adapt, or, get rolled over.
That's Balin told me adapt or die. So
Yeah.
It was,
He's very right.
We always talked about how we imagined some big reptile stuff would transfer over to almost like large saltwater fish breed, like keeping. You spend money on the setup, and then you spend money on the animal so that you can watch the animal in the setup, kind of a thing. So I would imagine that's kind of where some people go. I think the last couple of people I've sold animals to or who've inquired about animals is they're looking for a certain color, look, phase.
Sure.
Now, trying to explain to them that I bred a black and yellow animal and I bred a black and yellow animal, and because you somehow think the picture of the baby looks a little green, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a green animal. No. So, I mean, there are other species out there. I can't make this one green. So
Let them dream.
no, no, get a green tree python. It's green. It's in the name. Get an olive python. That's a type of green. I can't make the jungle carpet green.
Bro,
So-
olive pythons are gray. Don't lie to the people.
You and I will fight over this, sir.
Don't gaslight me on olive pythons.
Yeah,
What the
you
hell?
shut up.
Just because you have 15 babies left over.
I got rid of a couple.
Nice.
They were collecting animals for the Tinley Park auction. For part of it was going for Chad. So I kicked in a pair of olive pythons and some blue beauty snakes. So
Nice.
Nice.
yeah, they made their way out of there. So I think I'm down to like 12. It's like olive pythons. It's still bad, but it's better.
Yeah. I guess you're not breeding them this year.
I don't know, because that's the
He
thing.
totally was saying he might earlier.
Well, all right. Hold on. The whole reason that I ended up at Daytona this year is because I had roughies, white lips, olives. I had a ton of shit. And I'm like, there's no chance in hell this stuff is selling at a Hamburg show or
Right.
online. I'm going to have to go to a big show. And all those animals sold before it came time to register for Daytona. So having 10 olive pythons, I've sold 4 or 5 olive pythons at one show or sold pairs online. So for all I know, by the time we get up for springtime and it's time to put pairs together, I could be down to 2 olive python babies.
This is what's going to
So-
happen.
Yeah,
If you decide to breed them,
Yes.
nobody will
And-
buy them.
hands. But that,
If you
that's
decide
why I'm
to
not
not breed
deciding
them,
anything.
Everyone will buy them.
No, that's
Yes.
exactly how it happens. We specifically didn't breed our blood pythons. We only bred like one of them last year, and now all of a sudden, like I've got a blood python
You got to
left.
run on Batrix.
Run a baby blood.
Yeah, people are just like, "Oh man, are you making more blood pythons?" Like, what the hell? We have
Who
collected
says
and nobody
that?
wanted.
Nobody ever asks that.
Yeah.
I guess
well,
I am now. Yeah. It's
yeah.
like,
So this
yeah.
year we're gonna go for like I think 3 clutches.
Good.
And it's not because the market's great, but dude, you'd be surprised. I've sold blood pythons to the last people I would expect, and they're all like, "Yeah, cool. I know what I'm doing. I've done this," or like, "I'm ready for it." I'm like, "Sick. This is awesome."
Yeah.
this is why it's never I need to sell it. It's I'm going to sell it and all this other stuff, because I've had it where people tried to nickel and dime me down over the white lips, and then I had 3 people in the span of like a weekend buy up all the white lips I had at the price I was asking for them.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's okay to stick to your guns with those kinds of things, especially because I wasn't in a hurry. Like I'm down to 2.2 roughies out of the 16. Actually, it was 26, but I had to give 8 of them to the person who owns the other half of that girl back there. Roughies. And I'm down to 2.2. I'm not moving on prices because I don't care if it takes me a while. They take up 4 bins. So
Some people have accused me of being a gatekeeper for Morelia for saying something like this, but you owe it to the integrity of the species and the people who've come before you to not just plummet the prices down in a bid to just get the next sale because X, Y, and Z is on sale, or you have this bill to pay or something. As much as it might, help in the moment, life can obviously throw curveballs like that. But with fringe species like that, you owe it to yourself, your future self, the species to just never really budge if it's a good firm price and you believe in it,
and other people who are working on it. Like just because I had success doesn't mean I'm allowed to knock the peg down several times for the person who comes after me and has a little bit of success. Like that's
Sure.
kind of a dick move. Like they're
Right.
spending the same time, effort, and money that I did. So I mean, we should get a Morelia Gatekeeper T-shirt of some kind. like, let's circle back to that in a
Start a
redesign.
list.
Yeah. Let's put that on the back burner.
Yeah.
But
Now, like, if you hadn't sold any of those roughies at your asking,
I would agree.
Then that's the market dictating that price is too high. That's just the natural guiding hand of the free market, right?
Right.
I did pay attention to one of my econ classes.
I had to.
I failed it once. But you know, I got to take it twice, so I'm like doubly studied up, I guess. But yeah, no, for things like that, especially in today's day and age, I mean, how many times have we seen businesses or breeders that we all sort of expected were going to be around for, you know, a few years, and all of a sudden they're just not, and we've taken it for granted, you know, rest is sold, Doug Price, but
yeah,
you know, how many of us took for granted that, oh, I could get Doug Price line animals, you know, next season or something like that. And, you know, that's probably not the case, unless people like Lucas are preserving those animals and those lines. So it's, you know, life.
That's the weird part of it, is nobody can ever explain or predict what's going to happen next. Well, along the vein of Lisa's question, I know Riley and I both have our own websites. And then, Lucas, you do?
Damn, you're not even a fan, dude. You're
I'm not. I don't follow you anywhere.
He's your frenemy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know you had a whole website.
I've had a website for like 3 years.
My God. Anyway. So, all right. We all have websites, but then I also post on Morph Market. I also usually put up things on my Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. As far as like, is it worth it? I'll say it kind of is a double-edged sword, because I feel like putting yourself out there in all the different ways helps you, because the animals are being seen by people who could potentially be customers. Now, whether that animal who has been on your website for a year and a half has been to numerous shows and has an Instagram post dedicated to it, it finally sells because now you made a Morph Market account and put it up there, and that's how the person who wants to buy it sees it. Okay, but there have been multiple ways where people can see that. And I feel like that's what people kind of get away from, is having one way. It's like fishing with one rod, reel, and a hook. Yeah. Multiples help. So put the animals out there any way you can. And if that's doing a website, doing this, doing that, that's fine. If you don't want to do classified sites and just your website, but then you should make sure that people know your website's out there and blast it, that this is where you can get animals that are for sale, and do all that stuff. And then, yeah, you're going to have to probably do shows and make sure there are links all over your business cards, and ask friends that have got animals from you to tag you and your website in that stuff. It's all that kind of stuff of marketing. So it just depends on how hard you want to hit it. But I've had sales dry up on a website, but then hit really hard at a show. I've had animals that hit the website and are immediately bought before they even get onto a classified site. So it really just depends how you want to do it. But I think you can skin that cat a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. And it also comes down to what species too, because sometimes certain species, those circles of people that work within those might only pay attention to like certain Facebook groups or certain main breeders. So, you know, they might not see everybody's awesome work, that maybe it's not their bread and butter, but it's like a side project of theirs. So you have to put in a little extra work to advertise yourself into those circles of interest. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Today's day and age, you got to put in a lot more legwork to advertise yourself. Morph Market is probably the Kleenex household name of classified ads now, pages. And so, yeah, if like, ideally you would have a website, and then you would, you know, post on Instagram, on Facebook, you know, use the free amount of value that Morph Market lets you use. So you're not paying for a subscription, just post like a handful of stuff. Don't overdo it. Same thing with like, you know, fauna classifieds. And then that way you sort of cross-pollinated a little bit of everything. And then, you know, if you're somebody like Lisa, who's produced southern white lips 3 times a year, very highly coveted species, and has been invited onto, you know, NPR to talk about it, generally people are going to look for you and
Mm-hmm.
find you without you having to do any extra work. But for other species, you might have to do more work if it's something that's
Right.
more common.
Right. And I also feel like if you're going to, like, say there's a local reptile show that you're going to vend, try to make it a staple that you're there every time. People will learn what your table is, where your table is, what animals you offer. And it's kind of that thing. It's when you become known for that and you keep going, because there are certain people. My case in point is I'm always at this one table in Hamburg. It's my table now since they moved to the new facility, going on almost a year now. Several other breeders that we know only do a couple of the shows a year, and then they sublet their tables. I don't know if you want to call it like that. They find somebody else to take their table because they do Tinley Park and other big shows. And also it's like they got kids, family, and other stuff. Hamburg is literally 20 minutes down the road from me. So it'd be stupid for me not to do it. Yeah. I'm there all the time. So it just kind of is one of those things where they kind of know that I'm in that spot and I have these animals. And somebody said last time they came by and I had these. Yeah, I did. Well, I want to, like, I saw them last time and I'm here this time. Okay. That kind of stuff. So I know Lucas is planning on doing, you're going to re-up and do that other one again, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
You're going to do the show again, right?
Show? Oh yeah, definitely in the future. I mean, I feel like personally I do most on Morph Market, despite the website and social media and stuff like that. But it definitely happens from all angles, and you know, why not have as many doors to you as possible? And so yeah, but with the shows, I feel like I enjoyed doing it, but it's also a lot.
Yeah.
From, you know, both an effort standpoint and also just like it freaks me out in terms of the biosecurity, but I'm just extra anal about that these days, I guess.
I think you have to be. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's recently probably about 3 animals now have gone through my quarantine and mites have popped up. But
those bastards,
the little fuckers, because it's like the animal gets into quarantine, the mites break out. I kill everything. The mites go away. The animal eats, shits, does all that stuff. There are no mites. Animal goes downstairs. Fine. Next animal enter quarantine, mites. Where are they coming from? Because I have
everybody else.
No, they're not on anybody else. I've scorched.
No, I mean whoever sent you the animal.
They have. Well, kid, there's been different people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Everybody else.
Nobody. That's not true. It can't be. Like it's. And I have.
Really, you think
scorched
they're
earth.
somewhere on your end?
No, I don't think they're on. I think maybe there's something because I quarantine in a different part of the house,
right,
than all the other snake stuff. And part of me is like, are they in like the carpet in this area? And I've carpet bombed it because I can't. I don't know. The bin itself.
Do we know how
preventamited the bin. I've just like I've scorched earth that because I have these sweater boxes that I do for quarantine because you try to go minimalistic. White paper sweater boxes. And then I have a computer system that's dedicated just for quarantine and heat mats that go kind of in between so you can stack up if you have multiple animals. But there's nothing else. There's no furniture. There's no wood. There's nothing. And little fuckers just popped out of nowhere because I was getting ready to break quarantine for an animal I just gotten. And then there they are. And I'm like, never mind. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not on any animal downstairs.
Well, at least they're there.
In the rest of the snakes. Because I'm not anal retentive or nervous about that at all. Like it's
yeah.
I get burned more of my clothes than I'd like to get up about. You know, it's but that's why quarantine's a thing. But
it's big. And
that is something you should be concerned about because if you are next to somebody at one of these shows that all right, I'm not going to name names, but I was set up next to somebody who was subletting a table from a friend, and they arrived with their acrylic displays and they put them all up. And these acrylics look like they had been beaten like with a hammer in several places and kept together with clear packing tape, which you're like, oh my God. Like, and then he brought a pillowcase like Santa Claus and pulled every snake out of the pillowcase and put them in each individual slot. And I'm like, how many are in this bag? And it just kept going. I picked up the Ruffy display and moved it to the other side of my table. Because I'm like, no, my poor babies. Like it was. And then I watched this guy go around the show and buy more animals and immediately put them in the display. And it's just like, you can tell the people that have not done anything as far or had any kind of issue just by looking at them. And that's it right there. So
that's bad.
Yep. Talk amongst yourselves. My lights are. I forgot to turn the timers off.
Yeah, I had to actually adjust timers in my room the other day. Yeah, it's getting late. Follow the winter seasons. Lucas, I don't know if you. Well, I guess we're over here on the west coast.
Yeah, we're over here.
Yeah, it's still light out for a bit here, but
totally. Yeah, and I feel like it was like 90 something degrees like 2 weeks ago. Like we're not really cold yet, you know.
I walked out to my car and it was raining today and it was 87 yesterday. I was like, what is going on? This is October and it's confused.
This is our weird Indian summer bipolar weather.
Yeah, there's no more spring and fall. It's just summer and winter now.
You're like, shut up, because you guys are like, oh my God, it's 75 degrees. Like it is 40 outside. Go to hell. Like it is.
I wish it was 40. I'd trade you in a heartbeat.
Why? What's wrong with you? It's freezing.
I like cold.
I think my wife is trying to kill me and the reptiles all at the same time because she's like, it's glorious. It's cold. All the windows and doors are open.
I'm
like,
her.
We're gonna die. Like it's.
I wake up in the morning and if my wife's gone to work before me that day, she'll leave the front door open with the screen door locked so like fresh air comes in. And obviously, like, quarantine's there, so the diamond pythons love it. The rosies don't care. The corn snake, he doesn't care. So I'm just like, well, at least the snakes don't care. But good Lord,
I care. I care. I'm an animal in this house too. Like, yeah. I'm concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
But I always run warm anyway, so sometimes it's kind of refreshing. But yeah, no, we've had 80+ degree weather up until today, and then I walk outside and it's like raining. So. Like,
and you're probably warming back up, right? Because I see almost 80 degrees tomorrow here.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to rain today. It's just teasing us now.
Yeah. I think people don't understand that when they're like purchasing snakes, is that there are two weathers to be concerned about, especially when you have, because this is about the time where people buy animals and they're like, can you ship it to Texas? Weather looks great here. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's like 40 degrees outside. Like I gotta, get that going. So
be weather conscious. The shipping cutoff for anybody who gets snow is coming up next month.
Soon.
Yeah.
Lisa, the calendar show is, next week we're off. There's no shows coming out next week because Eric may be in Australia or he may have drowned himself in his shower. Either or, there's no in between.
Toaster bad.
Exactly. Listen, we may have to do. I may need to check. You're muted. It doesn't work.
Say his name 3 times.
I'm not going to drown myself in the shower.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm concerned.
What are you going to do?
I'm what? So I call the help people to help, and it's just robots telling me they'll give me a call back. So
the world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
You can go.
Damn AI.
When is your flight tomorrow?
I leave at 3:00.
Allegedly.
PM.
Okay.
Yeah, allegedly.
If you go early enough and check in there, you should be okay. Otherwise, you can start jumping up and down and yelling, and they'll get you on something. So they'll put you on a plane just to get you to go away.
I'm afraid though, if I'm jumping up and down, I won't even go above the desk. So
I mean, that's why I'm saying you have to jump so they know that you're there. Otherwise, they'll just keep looking and typing. You have to. there's a spot where they put bags. Just go there, and then they'll have to see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam,
Hold
I
on.
have brought my
Pull
step
the
stool
chair
so that
over
I
here.
can talk to you face to face.
You jerk.
Unfolds it, puts it in. Anyway, because Eric may be somewhere,
What are
we're
we
not
talking
doing the calendar show. So we're not doing a show next week,
Yeah.
which is going to give me a whole week to compile all the goddamn entries that we have into one place and start kind of going through it. Because I like to kind of go through a couple things of, because there are always pictures that we ask for, and then there's like one where it's like a person's forearm, and then there's like a little snake, and they're like, "Look, picture." I'm like, "Okay." So
Are you calling me out specifically?
I don't know what you're talking about, and if you felt like that was, then maybe you need to revisit some things. But but we have to go through that first round of cuts, and then just basic organization and trying to get everything into one thing. So the good thing is I have all week next week to do that. So,
well, we still have the Reptile Fight Club NPR to be released. So
the crossover, yes.
So that'll probably come out.
Apparently, I was bloodthirsty, and I went on there getting ready to fight. And we're like, "We're just talking as friends," and I'm like, "No, this is not what this show is about."
That's what I did when I was.
I know. Apparently, it's Fight Club. I come here to fight. Like, I don't understand.
We're like, stop with all this love. Let's fight.
No.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Ever since Chuck left, there's not enough rage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, too much mellowness.
Too much gentlemanly, like
decorum.
So
I hear what you're saying, and I agree. What the hell? No.
Yeah, right. Well, we talked about the same thing we kind of talked about on the the last Carpets and Coffee, or was it NPR?
We did it. We talked about it a little bit on the retic.
The retic thing. Yeah. With like, should we make our own legislation type of thing? Justin brought up some good points. Rob always has some good points because he's a lawyer, he kind of comes from the lawyer angle, but I don't know.
Kind of felt like I was throwing myself up against the wall there for a while, and I'm like, God damn it, I know my arguments are valid. They're like, listen, let's pump the brakes here. And I'm like, God damn it. So,
yeah, I hope I didn't make anybody upset in that. I wasn't trying to be like,
I'm constantly trying to make people upset. So I hope,
me too.
I hope that several people were upset. Like,
well, I hope balance it out. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'll drive past that payphone of the number that we gave out for the complaint department. Like, I'll drive by it, and if it rings, I will answer it.
You'll answer it?
Yeah. That's always been the rule. And if I drive by it and it rings, I will pick it up.
Lisa thought it was a good episode, so there we go. We were kind of like, we were doing the first half of the show was sort of the 13 or 4. What are we? I don't even know.
The 13
year anniversary, and then the other half was fight.
Yeah.
Well, sort of like cat fight.
Very large helmets, very soft gloves. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. What have you guys been talking about? Shows and stuff? I heard. I'm sort of like listening to the robot at the same time. I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. You kind of everything and nothing all at once.
It's a Carpets and Coffee episode. It's everywhere. It's all things at once.
I did want to talk about this picture. I mean, I know that it's kind of probably old at this point, but
look at this photograph.
Stop that, or I will mute you.
Did you just sing?
What? Yeah, no, it was
Nickelback.
Nickelback on our show.
You're damn right.
Look at her.
But look at the cane toad.
Where? What the hell is that?
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah. Babies.
I'm still waiting for it to load.
No, get it away from the babies.
Oh shit. Wow.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, that would upset me so much.
Oh my God.
I would kill that cane toad with everything I have.
Is it gonna try to eat one of the babies
like
or
this,
something?
Owen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting though. I don't know. That was a cool pick. I know a lot of people have talked
look
about
at
it.
That snake is pretty.
Head.
Yeah,
wait.
look at that.
Look at mom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, no, I'm saying like, look at her body tone. Like,
I mean, she looks like crap.
You think so?
Well, look
She
at all
looks
this.
good.
Look, all right,
I think
all right.
she looks pretty goddamn good.
Listen,
for a
I
wild
mean,
snake that just has
for a
cane
nest
toad on its side and it's
for a
about to eat the
nesting
baby.
female, she looks good. She's got a big old head, but then
Yeah.
look at all the loose skin.
Yeah,
First
I
off, I
see
think
that. Yeah.
she's got a
She's
shed.
in shed.
Let's say she's got a shed. So
I need more angles.
So
to
many
make an informed
angles.
decision.
Big
I mustn't
angles.
speak
Right.
on
More
things I
evidence is
cannot
needed.
see.
Well, maybe
I
in the
think
future,
she's-
at some point, we can, you know.
Yeah,
but-
I think she needs to get out of there, get a shed and a feed, and then she'll look.
So
Well, she could just eat that frog behind her.
No,
yeah,
no.
Just give it one pop. Just give it a punch and it'll leave.
yeah.
He's sizing up that
and
baby
this
right
looks
there.
The poor toad, man. But his face is just like, I'm about to eat these babies.
Look at the face
Shade."
right there by the baby. No.
You know what?
Yeah,
He
what do we have here?
could probably get one of those babies in his mouth, but it would crawl right out. I mean, if you've ever fed toads earthworms, it's like
Oh,
It's-
really?
it's ridiculous. They'll sit there and they'll eat it and they'll whap, and they'll just sit there and they'll just like start crawling right back out, and they'll just let it happen.
Yeah, toads are kind of
They're special.
So, do you think that the mom? I don't know. The thing that popped into my head when I saw this was I was trying to think about when we talked to Dale and when we were talking about the African rock python study where the mom stays with the babies for X amount of time. Do you think that that's something? It's so hard to tell from a picture, right?
Yeah.
Look at this one right here. That's like, wow.
Yeah, smuggle that one.
Mm.
I'm just wondering how long she hangs out there.
I mean,
Yeah,
she
that's a
might
good
for a
question.
bit,
I
but
bet she doesn't do anything until she sheds out, and even then, she'll probably hang out if there's any more babies. I mean,
So do you think that she's hanging out for the shed or for the babies or maybe both?
I think those two things probably coincide with one another. I would imagine the babies probably hang out there until they have their first shed, which probably coincides when she has hers, and they probably disperse around that same week. That would be my guess.
I think she would hang unless there was some sort of stimuli or something that got her moving. Like if she needed water or she needed heat, or if she sensed some kind of food, then
Yeah.
she might start motoring, but she might not necessarily like be like peace and then go crawling for 3 days to get as far like in a straight line away from the kids. She might still be in the area. So
Yeah. I don't know.
Good
Lots
question.
of questions. Lots of questions. No
yeah,
answers.
Lucas is going to figure all these questions out when he's over there escaping his family. So get all the questions in now and he'll figure them out while he's over there.
I was surprised at the size of the babies too. That's
Big
pretty
ass
big.
babies.
That's a
That's
pretty
be-
big coastal.
That's because these are
carpet baby, man.
these are large coastal carpet
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
You know.
Where is this?
I imagine
Australia.
it's somewhere in Brisbane, somewhere around there.
5 points, Owen.
Thank you.
Where did you say? Australia?
I said Australia. Tell me I'm wrong.
Good job. Yeah, I just can't get over.
Ah,
this.
yes, zoom in and enhance.
Look at this one right here.
That's a leaf.
No, right
Oh,
here.
it is a baby. Look at that.
What the hell? It's
Oh.
deceiving too. You can see she's in shed because her eyes are
She's
kind
got
of
a kid
disappear.
right there by her freaking head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I guess she's dehydrated because of all
she
the
does not look great. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. My snakes look terrible after they
But
maternally
look at,
incubate. Like they look
uh,
like they're about to die. This thing at least has some body tone to it, unless
if
it's
you-
all
but
caved in on the
Well,
inside.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Deceptive because like if you look
Angles.
if you look right where the eggs are, like where the eggs hit her coil up in the top rightish,
Yeah.
like you can see this kind of
Yeah.
sunken in on that side there. So I don't know if she's going to be one of those like she looks good and then you uncoil her and it's just like everything's sucked in. So exactly. I mean, they don't they don't look good when they come out of it. What?
We need more angles.
Well, when you go over, you can take all the angles of all the. That's why video is better sometimes. You can just run around and take a ton of pictures.
Yeah.
We had that drone in Arizona that was like you could apparently lock it in on something and then like fly the drone around and it would keep locked in on that one
Yeah,
thing.
you can set drones to follow you as you walk, and they'll keep a specific distance, or you can program them to like go out and then return. Like you can do a bunch of cool stuff like that.
All right, bring me the Owen Pelly Python. Ring. Yeah, yeah. So I get this. That's all I want.
No, and all jokes aside, though, if I don't know, how difficult or airspace rules out in Australia and in the NTA out up there, they really care much. But man, Eric, if you could get a drone up in the air just for the aerial shots, maybe not even necessarily to like spot for an animal, just to check out the environment at different times, that would be some friggin'
I mean, we have MPR1, which is the drone that Justin bought that I promptly named that we could easily use. So yeah, just do that. Just bring MPR1.
I think he is bringing it.
Excellent.
Nice.
I think he
You
is.
better have painted MPR1 on the side, otherwise it doesn't count.
Can you imagine how easy it would have been to get that Owen Pelly if we just had a drone, or that Darwin? We could like.
Or what if, like, imagine just flying a drone through the canopy of trees and you just come across a snake up in the tree.
Yeah.
It's like, don't mind me.
Yeah. That would have been so awesome if we, because, do that. Do that.
Oh,
Eric.
and I know you're like delving into the world of boas, and I know you're a striped guy. What the holy hell is that?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jeez.
What the hell is that?
Is that a sterling boa?
I have no goddamn idea.
It might be. It's like a morph of a longicata locality.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it.
Oh, yeah. It takes a while for Lucas. Yeah.
So that's not a sterling boa, then. That's just like a dope longicata morph. I don't know what they call it, but I have seen those. Those are sick.
That is
Its head
insane.
is blue. It's like blue.
I don't want to. I never want to see this animal again. Okay.
Oh,
hey,
dude.
Owen, I hate to tell you, longicatas are perfect size too. They stay under 6 feet. They're easy, beautiful, big black mass. They fit you perfectly.
I already have Argentine.
Riley, Chris is here. Is he working too? Is he slacking off?
It depends on who you're asking. He's here.
Work is relative.
Zero longicata. Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
Zero. Okay, yeah. He's good for knowing the boa morphs in localities like that for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I have my Hog Island have not learned to love me yet.
No,
They hate me.
I don't think they
Pissy
ever
little
will.
Fuckers. Yeah. The Argentines are cool.
Yeah, and apparently, Riley, you just did a video on Citrus Tiger. Well, you sort of put it out there and there. Yep, it's cool.
Yep.
You're your girl, and
That was Riley. I watched you with that show on MJ with Brandon, and they were talking about M Pen, and you pulled out the M Pen, and Brandon wouldn't shut up. And I'm like, you had.
I just gave up.
You had it.
Like,
I'm like, let him talk about the snake. I need to sell more.
I just sat there and played with it. It was like, oh,
It's there, and I'm like, oh my god.
Wait,
no.
Me and Riley will talk them up, dude. If there's anybody out there looking for a coastal carpet, the M Pen caramels that Owens has are insane.
I have one now.
Do you?
Yeah.
See?
Everybody on this call has.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I've given away.
You sneaky bastard.
I've given away 3 of them. I know where they went. Like it's
you cheeky.
Weirdly enough, all females. What am I doing?
I see. So this snake, when I sold it to Chris Salemi, it was from the same clutch as your girl, Riley. But this thing was solid black in the inside, and I love how that charcoal came through. Oh, that's my favorite thing about those snakes.
I have a male from last year that I took a kind of half-assed updated shot of him for the website, and not the best photo because he wasn't cooperating, but he's got a ton of that thick black border, and it's going very, very far down. He's got a perfect stripe. And as he gets older, I anticipate it's going to lighten up and creep back up to the top, and he's going to be a spitting image of that look right there.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a really strong phenotype. I was looking at the other one you sent me a while back, Eric, the one that had sort of like the broken up dorsal, but still got all the portholes in the same color and everything like that. It's just a completely different look, but he's got that the color palette and everything in them. So I'm excited to see what he produces paired to that girl this year.
Right. Yeah, that'll be cool, man. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what you got.
And the
what you
car
do with that.
tiger too. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I kept one of them, and it's finally like coloring, like it's like in that coloring up phase, and like yeah, man. Wow.
They age very nice. They seem to age
Wow.
slower than others.
Yeah. I was kind of like bummed out at first, and then the further it went along, and then it's like, when you go in and you like it sheds out and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. There's a few citrus tigers in the calendar competition that I posted for Gerard and Eric. And
yeah.
I hate I had to sell any of them.
It's gonna be a hard competition this year. Like I think
I was gonna say, and you have to go through all that yourself.
Yeah. This is
You
my
got to do
penance.
something, Riley. What
Yeah,
the hell, man?
this is the one thing I do for the year, and this way
It's the only
Eric
thing he
can't
does
complain.
all year. What
Yeah,
the hell,
yeah. I do this, and then he's like, "Well, you did do the calendar." Yes, I did. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Good job.
Yeah,
Did
good
you
job.
pin it?
I'll allow it. Yeah, there we go.
Did you pin the post? Is it pinned?
It's
I was just
pinned,
gonna-
but I had to. I'm like, it's pinned, and I went in there and I said, everybody, we're shutting it down as of midnight. And then people put entries on that post that I said about shutting down at midnight. And then
No.
I went in there and I said, no more entries. We're done, because it was midnight. And then people posted, like I went to bed and people had posted after midnight.
You
leading
can't
up to, I got an alert about one at like 10 in the morning the next day. And I'm like, that's enough. And I had to disable comments because people kept going. So I'm like, all right.
Society must have rules.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, if you did post after midnight on the 5th, you will not be included.
You fucking disqualified, motherfucker.
We got 30 days. Come on.
Well, I
Yes.
click right in, and right away I see the dreamy white lip from
It
Lisa.
is.
What kind of ball python is that?
That's a
Shut
good
your
shout.
dirty whore mouth. I mean, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Bowling.
Is that
Yeah.
Darwin?
Oh, look at that. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's going to be bad. There's a lot. Jungle. Usually there's one category a year that comes out of nowhere, like people are going to be fighting in this one. I think every category looks like it's going to be a goddamn fist fight.
I didn't
Holy
enter
shit.
this year for
I
the
think it's
first
gonna be
time
tough.
because even when I win, it doesn't count.
Eric did that. I didn't do that. Eric did that to you.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let that be known.
See, that's why I
Um,
don't get involved. What were you going to say, Riley?
I think the big fight category is going to be scrubs.
Scrubs is going to be big. And then I thought the white lip
Yeah,
was
look at
going to
that
be like,
shot. Holy shit.
I thought the white lip was going to be pretty easy, but then everybody came to play on white lips and rings too.
Damn.
So,
Hey, go back to that diamond.
I'm glad I won for the
One more.
a couple
Oh,
of
that's
years ago.
Aaron's. Oh.
Before,
yes, before that happened. Yeah.
yeah.
Alright,
There's so
then.
many good Bolins
Nice.
photos in there. I'm like, whew,
Ugh.
one.
Yeah, and then there's
Aaron
so
was in the
much.
chat earlier. That's a really nice fucking time.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Diamond is going to be hard. Green Tree is always difficult, but Coastal came out.
Mhm.
Damn,
the,
Ryan Young getting in the competition?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I love,
did.
I love
Oh,
how
yeah.
Oh,
we made the announcement
Wait.
about
Wait, was that a tub shot?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a bucket shot, right? Oh, that's-
Ryan's.
No, that's
it's a cage.
That's his cage.
Okay.
That's
I was
allowed.
gonna say, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
It's allowed. But
Oh shit, we got some good
so
ones. Yeah, you
we
were right,
posted
Ryan.
about the calendar competition, and Nick was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get on this hard." He did not put a single entry, like not a single one that I saw. I'm
Really?
like, so you were just talking? Like, what's going
He
on here?"
commented at the height of all that pre-workout, and then after that, it's just
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. It's-
not a jag apparently.
Produce Pat, no chat. Holy shit. Is that
Yeah.
a jungle? No.
I don't-
It's a albino.
Some sort
I
of
don't know.
myth.
That is
Some-
wild looking. Okay. I haven't looked at any of these yet.
Me either.
I've kind of like
We're
purposely
gonna do it
not.
now on an audio medium. It's great. Yeah.
Well, it's
Hey,
really a
this still
video
has
medium.
video.
I hate
Come
you.
on.
There you go.
Yeah. Are these all the Riley? Are you posting all the people that aren't
Yeah.
on Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah. I popped a few of those posts up for Gerard and Eric.
Oh, gotcha.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing is that Coastal
Cool.
is wide open because
There we go. Female albino citrus type.
Eric Hernandez won, so he didn't participate this year. So
Mm.
Coastal should be open.
Should be
Yes,
open.
they should.
Hold on. Reduced pattern diamonds.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
That is insane. That one right there.
Holy shit.
Beautiful.
God, Dama.
I have several friends who all have diamond pythons who need to hook a brother up. I'm just saying.
Mine are babies.
Huh.
Why,
Oh my
Lucas?
God.
Why?
Lucas.
I didn't realize that was going there. I'm like, what did they do? Why is he
I have no
texting me?
children. It's, all right, yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No,
you're
he's not. He's not. It's a lie.
Uh,
So, but yeah,
he's the Owen in training.
so, someone's got to take over when, because that was the fun thing is when Eric came out about put out the post about the 13 years, people thought it was his retirement speech. And everybody tweaked out and they're like, don't leave us with Owen and Lucas. I'm like, bitch, you think I'm staying? Like,
right.
if Eric goes, I'm gone. I'm bailing.
Yeah.
I'm not staying.
I was
We're like Oasis.
finally.
Like we can't stay friends long enough to be in a band.
No. Like, so yeah, Lucas has
I'm
to
the
go
glue
find-
that keeps them together.
goddamn right. So I'm just gonna bounce.
I need
different
snacks on my rider.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You need replacements. You need your vice presidents and your heirs to the throne.
Ew.
See, with that kind of shit is I would prefer to throw it out there and the heir apparents will make themselves known after the vacuum of our leaving. So, we'll go and then other people will step in. I'm not
That sounds
gonna
like a bloody mess.
It is, it should be. Of
Yeah.
course.
The podcast that I'm really, really digging, the one that I listen to is The Expert and the Idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that binging from episode 1
He
lately.
fucking crushes it, man. He does a
Adam
great
does
job.
a really
Yes.
good job.
I
Yeah.
will be on there. We recorded last week.
Oh, he finally
2
got
weeks?
you on?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
I'm
I always-
disappointed. He got
was
a
on there.
pop one. He got a pop one carpet and then was like, well, jungles are better. And I was like, damn.
I mean coastals, but yeah. It's
What did you talk about? Timor pythons the whole show? I know
Not
he
the whole
loves
show.
Timor pythons.
I mean some Timors,
He
but
loves Timor pythons.
they are an awesome python. I don't
Yeah.
know why more people don't have them.
The Swede.
There is that.
Yeah.
Correct.
My
But-
introduction to Timor pythons was at Todd Dyer's warehouse, and he was like, "I have these too," and I was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to see those." He's like, "I don't like these. I don't have time for these. I don't know why anybody likes these things. Every time I touch them, I get peed on and bit or combination of all." And he literally goes and scoops it up to show me, and it's calm. And then all of a sudden, I see the tail just go fill up like a water hose, and go blow and splatter.
That's why that's
And
why
all of a
you
sudden-
pick them up with one hand and then the other hand just kind of goes on the vent to cloaca because then everything kind of stays where it's supposed to and you can put them.
To
Brandon,
me, that's like grabbing a hose when it's on at full blast. You're just gonna go.
I love how Brandon came over and he's like, "Can I handle the Timor?" I'm like, "That's all you, buddy." And he did, and he's like, "Oh, it's great." And I don't think he got squeezed on. He might have gotten
That's good.
bit. So
Bites are fine. It's
yeah,
the
I'll take
musk
a bite.
that's just so off-putting. If a snake musks on me, I'm like, I can't believe you're in my hands right now.
I will. All right, I will take more from my Timor pythons than I probably would from a bunch of other different types of snakes because of the Timor
you love
python-ness. Exactly.
Yeah.
If I had a corn snake that acted like this, I'd sell the fucker. Like it would just be like,
Yeah. Fine. Now, getting musked on herping, that's like a badge of honor. But
Yeah,
getting
then you
musked
smell-
on from something you own, that just sucks.
it does. But I also had a white lip, throw urates on my head, and they're still here. So
They're
You're
still on your head.
yeah, I mean, they kind of blend in with all my gray hairs, but yeah.
No wonder your scalp looks so fresh and nice.
That's the secret.
Secret. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all right. Right.
I use Burmese python musk. That's how I
it's
get
kind of,
those big
it
bushes.
burns. Like, it's fine. Keep going.
Yes.
I think it was Lucas who might have said it, but I think you were like, I don't know what snake urates is made out of, but they should build houses or replace concrete or something with it.
I mean, spoken like
true.
Spoken like any true person that's had to scrape them out of a corner of a cage or tub.
That's
where
tough
you're like,
shit,
"God
man.
damn it." Like, yeah.
Strong, lightweight.
Yeah.
It's like the hemp of the poop world.
Yeah.
Ooh, what happens if you smoke it?
Who knows?
I mean,
You just have a bunch of retics over a wall and a foundation, just squeezing them out.
Squeezing them out.
Bring the next retic. This one's empty.
Yes.
We're on to something.
The future
That's
is
right.
bright.
Yeah.
patent pending.
Smelly.
Yeah, it would not be nice.
I got distracted for a minute because did we know that there was an Axanthic granite zebra Axanthic granite super zebra?
No, but so I don't know who it was, but somebody
Where?
picked up a snow zebra at Tinley.
Blah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
looks like a silver peppered inland.
It looks like a boa.
Wow.
That's
I didn't
kind of
want to say
crazy.
silver. It looks like it's
It
the
reminds me-
marble
Yeah, it reminds me of those marble children's pythons.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
with all that fish netting. Yeah.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
Somebody apparently there were snow zebras at Tinley that somebody bought, and I saw a post. The person who bought it, name escapes me, but they posted it up, and it was a very looking at it, it's a white animal with pink zebra markings, and I'm like, okay, it's a baby.
Yeah.
So my thing is, let me see it a couple times after it sheds, but I don't know.
That sounds pretty neat.
Yeah. There's some combos out there that, I think maybe I want to say that although we tried not to, I want to say Carpet Python did this thing where we got the combo and we're like, cool, next. And we kind of kept going. Where now some people are kind of settling back into refinement of a certain thing. And we're going to start seeing some really cool, really good looking animals. Because I want to say a lot of other projects or possibilities got kind of thrown by the wayside because it would be a mix or because it would be a mutation or a mutt. And now with the restructuring of Variegata, what did they say? It was an albino granite.
It's technically
It's technically a pure animal now.
Yeah.
An Axanthic albino granite.
It's
Yeah.
pure.
I also think people's attitudes towards crossing we've kind of argued all the points till we've all been blue in the face for so long that we're all kind of like, screw it, do whatever you want. If it's pretty, it's like,
Yeah.
Right. And it also, being that people have had the crossings and the sky didn't fall in on us, like the doom didn't happen,
Yeah.
I can still sell pure coastals as pure coastal and stuff like that. It's okay to kind of experiment with things as long as you're upfront about what it is and deal with the mixes that aren't of the mutation that you want in the appropriate way.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's pet potential in undocumented animals and crosses, and if that's somebody's gateway Morelia, then that's got tons of value to them.
That's all our gateway Morelias. Did any of us really start with 100% pure? Not Lucas. All right, never mind.
I did not.
You
No,
didn't?
remember,
Okay.
I had a
I
credit
didn't.
tag.
Okay, I'm like, I
that's
thought you
right.
I thought you wandered straight in with a bread lie. So, all right.
Yeah. I had a jungle coastal cross.
So did I.
I had I don't know if there was one that was first because I didn't just grab one. I think I started with like 9.
Do you just rip open a bag of chips sideways and just pour it on yourself? Like, I mean,
Mine.
Sort of.
this is how I consume. It's like, wait,
I had like super caramels and jaghead albinos and jungle jags and like 9 babies all at once out of nowhere. And then I didn't have those 6 months later, and you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Riley watched me buy my first snake. He was there.
Yeah, I was there. And speaking of which, I saw Manny at the Sacramento show.
How's he doing?
Month. He's
Is he
doing
still
great.
keeping?
He has some snakes, and I think he sold a lot, but he's gonna get back into it. He's been looking to dive back in, so he took some time to himself, and he's ready to gear up again. So yeah, it was
funny.
really neat.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. It would be funny running into him and being like, me, you, now I hear.
Yeah,
that happens every once in a while where like you start and somebody helps you, and then you kind of go over here, and because I'm selling wholesale to several of the people that I bought animals from way back in the day. So way back in the day. I've been doing this a long time, children. So it's
it's like how cute way back in the day.
Well, it's like you're sitting here and I'm like, well, my first carpet clutch was 2010. My first snake clutch was 2005. So we're getting close to 20 years ago. So
my first one was 2012. That was my first clutch.
Mine was 2015.
2012. Yeah.
My first clutch was not snakes. It was Sicilians.
Oh, that's pretty.
I bred rubber boas in my fish tank. Or rubber eels. Sorry, rubber eels. Yeah.
Same thing, right? One's in water, one's not.
It's like a water snake. Yeah.
And in like 2006.
2006. How old were you in 2006?
Lucas, how old are you?
Okay, hold on. One question at a time. I would have been I'd been like 10 in 2006.
Holy shit, 10.
9 or 10.
3.
And then now I am 27.
He was 3 with this many years old.
Lucas was this many.
Dude, I was touring the East Coast in 2006.
That's pretty good.
Still in college.
My rubber eels were giving birth in my 20 long.
I think 2000. Go ahead.
I was on my 3rd high school.
Not 3rd year, just 3rd school.
Let's not unpack that. Let's let it go. just
I love
That's right.
Just push that down the river.
Yeah.
I graduated behind the sheets. 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I think 2003 was when 2001 was when I got my first carpet. Yeah. And 2003 was when I got my first IJ.
Dude, kindergarten was sick.
Is that when
learning colors?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's not too far off. Eric, I got my first snake maybe only a couple years before that, but it was not a carpet. I got my first snake, a Cali King, I think in 99.
Wow.
Riley is here, and I have not asked him because this will be my first year breeding rainbow boa that I have procured from Riley.
Fun.
So is there something I should know before I just open
bins? Put boy snake with girl snake.
How dare you use my own words against me?
I was gonna say that, but we'll be nicer about it. No, I went on to Dave Collings' website like a decade ago and just kind of made mental notes of his timeline and when he starts. And I've come to find that it's essentially similar to like how you would cycle a jungle or a coastal. You don't really need to go that cool, but giving them night drops is fine. And mid 80s hot spot for only a few hours, let them drop, into the low to mid 70s at night. My females would still eat once a month while breeding, but not all of them will. And that's okay, especially if they're plenty big. But I got in the habit, I would start cooling them end of October, beginning of November, and then bring them back up, end of January or so. And they've been breeding that whole time. And they're you don't have to worry about them fighting or hurting each other or killing each other. They're kind of,
thank God.
yeah,
Not
they're
one of those
very,
other ones.
yeah, no, they're pretty chill. The one thing you have to worry about is when you go to get them out, if they're looking at you and they're both like aware of you and you're trying to figure out which one is which, they'll be like, are you feeding us or what's going on?
The lucky thing is that they both kind of, out of your animals, you kind of had two different looks.
Yeah.
You kind of had going, and my female went one way and my male went the other way. So
Perfect.
they're distinct.
Perfect.
But also, I'm not sure if you showed them a picture of me and then tortured them, because they came here with ill intent and it never went away. They just got bigger. So
they are little red anacondas, man. I definitely
you grab them and then they immediately twist over everything that is touching them, and then they come around with the teeth. So they're constantly taking hooks from me, and then if you grab them by the hand, they're around your hand, and it's like, great. So but as far as babies go, obviously no eggs.
Correct.
They're just gonna pop up.
If you get eggs, there's a bigger problem.
There's a lot of other issues there. I have questions. So setups for kids is pretty much carpet python stuff, right?
Yeah,
right.
Same thing. I keep them real wet as babies, like blood pythons.
All right, white lip area. Got it.
You can't give them I've never seen a rainbow, especially a baby, get any sort of like water blisters or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that. I've started them on paper towels and on particulate substrate, and I just keep it really humid, hide water dish. Obviously with particulate substrate as babies, it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt for feeding, so paper's fine. And I've literally fed babies 24 hours after they were born to a week after they were born. The first time I ever produced, they all ate within 48 hours of being born.
Were you just like, let's see
what happens?
I read on a forum somewhere. I remember doing a ton of research, just staying up late at night, trying to learn from other people's experiences. And I remember reading on a forum somewhere, and I wish I would have saved it because I, for the life of me, cannot remember where I read it. But I remember reading that somebody had that experience. They had a litter of like a dozen or so, and they offered them frozen thawed, and they all took that first night. And so I was like, well, can't hurt. I've got a bunch in the freezer. I'll try like 10. And if all 10 take, then I'll thaw out some more and do another chunk. And 2 nights later, all 34 of them, that first litter had eaten. Yeah, it was a big litter. So
that's cool.
But yeah, and then the next couple years in a row, I kept repeating it to see if it was a fluke. And yeah, most of the babies will happily eat literally the day after they're born. Just drop.
That's really neat.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. They'll take rat pinks, they'll take, frozen thawed hoppers, whatever. You just drop feed them. And the good thing about baby rainbow boas is they'll happily just like defensively strike at something. So what I got in the habit of doing was showing them the food, be like, here, it's there. You register it. They get angry, they strike at it, and I drop it and I close them. And then next morning, everything's gone. And like you rarely will have rainbows refuse unless you're feeding too often. That's the only reason a baby might, decide to pass on a week, is just like, oh, I'm so full or I'm going into shed. They're pretty easy to get going. I've never had to do any crazy scenting tricks or getting live or anything like that.
Awesome. Well,
love that.
That'll be a new one for me if that goes this year, along with several other things. So.
And another thing you'll notice too is like carpets, they all kind of hatch looking similar in one way. And then after their first shed, you can sort of start seeing some of them take off in a little bit of direction. Like some of them will have darker tones and more purple. Some will already be kind of going red or orange. And then after their second shed, it'll sort of reinforce what you saw in that first sort of maybe change in direction. And that's when you'll really start to see it. And then I found for like the first month, they're really snappy and defensive. But after, the regular going in and scooping and picking them up for cleaning and replacing and stuff, they kind of get used to you. And 90% of them will just stop even biting the hand that's scooping them up after about a month.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Lisa wants to know if they will eat while gravid.
Yeah. So I've literally fed females up until the last month of parturition, just one meal each month, and it was not the biggest meal that I would give them. So if like a female I had was taking like large or jumbo rats or something like that during breeding season, I'd maybe give her a small or a medium, and she would take it no problem, but it's not a big enough meal to like impede, you know, potential developing babies in there. I've also heard of breeders who don't feed during, you know, while females are gravid, and it's just fine. I think females are capable of making it happen either way. It just really comes down to how well conditioned the female is ahead of time. And if you happen to be at home when she's giving birth, it's really cool to watch. It takes some time, but if there's any slugs, you'll probably see her try and eat one.
Eat them, yeah.
She'll like reabsorb that nutrient stuff, and I've even seen her go and like nose around babies that were still in their sacks and like open her mouth and
are you alive?
Hey, what's going on? If you don't want me to eat you, say something. Yeah,
He actually pops them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen her like check on ones that were like, you know, still upside down. I've seen her pop open, and then
Damn.
I've let her go through the process, and like I'm taking photos and stuff, and she'll be doing something, and she'll notice me, and she'll just slowly kind of worry. And
what are you doing? Yeah,
I don't want to find out what your intent is, so I'm gonna give you space. I've never had a female like bite me while removing her. They're pretty whooped, pretty tired at that time, but their motherly instincts are very strong, so they're more focused on checking on babies and eating slugs and seeing what's going on. So if you just go in there and put them in a bin to soak and put them away first, you shouldn't really have any issues. Not like a defensive python on eggs or anything. You'll have babies biting you though.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the last 2 litters of Dominican red mountain boa. One, I was away, so I came home and she had rested, and the babies had kind of dispersed, and then she was ready for me when I came in.
Nice.
As far as the first litter, I caught them pretty close, so she was kind of just letting them squirm all over her and do her thing. But I guess she'd already eaten the ones that were, you know, DOAs and stuff like that. Yeah. So because she was still coiled with them, but she allowed me to like go in there and pluck. But you're right. I was getting bit by babies while mom was giving me side eye. So, you know,
you got to sift through all the substrate, because she'll like lay them. And then if you've got substrate in there, it'll like bury them.
Yes.
Or if you have vision cages, they'll get up on that like lip around the door and stuff. They just get everywhere, man. They're fun. Yeah. And then when you get them all and you go to count them, my favorite thing, every litter I would have, I'd put them all in a bucket, and it was just tall enough where they couldn't get out. And then after all, I'd just go and scoop a handful of baby boas in my hand, and it was like the most amazing ball of slimy, bitey awesomeness. So cool. So much fun. And it's usually about 120 days in my experience. So when you're female, when you go through your wintering and your pairing, you're seeing locks, and she'll give you a shed cycle, usually, you know, at the start of winter, something like around now. Or maybe into December, between now and December, whenever after she ovulates, and then it's about 120 days from that shed to babies.
Okay.
Some females will have another shed before parturition, but not usually.
Okay.
So
very cool.
My females would give birth like 120, 121 days to the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's something like I'm not going to try to take the rainbow boa world by storm, but it's something else to add to the resume and on the table. And my female isn't necessarily huge, but I figure, you know, give me 10, 15 babies. We'll call it a day. So
I think that's perfect size. You know, I've read a lot of reports about what was coming in as far as imports a while ago, and you were seeing a lot of these big 6-foot Peruvian monsters, which is probably the female that I had. She was massive, but I do know for a fact that her previous owners had like overfed her, try and make her big. So the females that I have here that we're going to be breeding here, probably along that same size as yours, where, you know, probably soda can thickness, you know, give or take at the biggest. Yeah, they're good for a dozen to 18 at that size, for sure.
That's perfect. So
yeah, it's a good number.
we'll play with
Nice.
that. And I guess on this point, we're close to 2 hours, which is normally not how we go for carpets and coffee. Normally it's like an hour hitter. But again, it's the 100th episode. So we'll,
100.
yeah, and Riley's here. So we'll go a little bit longer. But at this point, I think we're going to wrap it up here because I got some snakes to clean. Eric is probably still trying to find an airplane that will take him to California.
He's in the bath.
Yeah, he may be in the bath with the toaster.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes with that. But anyway,
Yeah.
obviously we have the cold-blooded caffeine where you can go get your coffee. The Carpets and Coffee blend is delicious, and they have a bunch of different types. I hear rumors that we're working on another Carpets and Coffee blend that we'll have to try to get going with maybe in the next year. So we'll see that. The other thing would be Cold-Blooded Cafe, where you can get your rats and your rodents. Jump on that and make sure you use your code MPR20 to get 20% off of your first purchase, and then FS250 to get free shipping off of any order over $250. Now's the time to bulk up, and then you can put everything in the freezer. And over winter, you can just kind of keep adding to it like I do. And then by springtime, you got a full freaking freezer when everybody wakes up hungry and pissed. So there you go. Lucas, do you have anything else to add? Anything else you want to throw out there?
I have a couple hypo stonewash Brettles available. Other than that, it's going to pretty much be waiting until next season. But if you're interested in those, you can get in touch with me. That's it.
Cool. Riley, do you have anything you want to add?
Carpet pythons available on my website at rileysreptiles.com. I just popped up some Pop One carpets up there. I might throw a few jungles up there in the next week or two, but otherwise, I'm easy to find. I'm just doing my thing.
Cool. And then Eric doesn't have anything to add. He's going to abstain. So no, he doesn't have anything. What I will add is that I will be vending the Hamburg Reptile Show in Morgantown, Pennsylvania this Saturday. I'm in Hall A, and I will have olive pythons, rough scale pythons. I will have a bunch of shit, a bunch of carpet pythons, the grand debut of the Vietnamese Blue Beauty babies. So we have a bunch of stuff there. So check that out. And we'll say thanks, everybody, for listening to 100 episodes of this rambling that we have here. So, and we'll try to do another 100 more. Eric, hit the button. See?
Do you not have the button?
I have the button. I just want him to hit it.
I don't know if he's going to do it, man.
He's going to do it.